All right, so today we're diving into Little Heroes, this new book, and as a parent, I'm always looking for ways to kind of sneak in those good life lessons for my kids.
Oh, yeah.
And this book by Mitch Jackson, who's an attorney,
Okay.
does exactly that.
Interesting. An attorney writing a children's book. That's cool.
Yeah, it is, and it's really cool because it's not just a typical bedtime story.
Right.
It's packed with like these grown-up success tips,
Uh-huh.
but they're disguised in these really engaging stories that are perfect for kids 6 to 10.
And the best part is it's free.
Yes, completely free.
He's offering it in both text and audio on his website, mitchjackson.xyz.
You can just download it, make it part of your routine car rides bedtime stories.
Exactly.
Speaking of bedtime, I can already see myself dozing off to Sammy the Snail in the Belief Jacket while the kids are soaking it all in. And The Golden Rule and The Curious Case of Mr. Grump. I mean, those titles alone.
Yeah, they really draw you in.
Yeah.
But what I find fascinating is his motivation behind writing this. In the introduction, he talks about noticing a gap in resources. There's so much out there for adults to improve their lives,
Right.
but very little aimed at helping kids develop these same, essential skills.
It's like he's giving them a head start on life.
Exactly. And
Yeah.
he does it through these 30 short chapters each with a, fun story and a clear takeaway message.
Perfect for the little ones.
Yeah.
Bite size, yeah.
Take, for example, the very first chapter, Penny in the Zigzag Path. It's all about the importance of taking action.
Yeah.
Penny the squirrel, she dreams of opening a bakery, but gets stuck in the planning stage, wants everything to be perfect.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Yeah, we all do, right?
For sure.
And that's where her friend Max comes in, and he encourages her to embrace the zigzags along the way, emphasizing that mistakes are just opportunities to learn and adapt.
That's a good lesson for kids and adults.
Oh, absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, and it's like that saying, done is better than perfect. But what I found particularly interesting is how he uses the story to kind of shift the perspective on mistakes. He frames them as pit stops, not dead ends,
I like that.
which can be so powerful
Yeah.
to encourage a growth mindset in kids.
Yeah.
And it reminds me of another chapter that touches on a similar theme, Ellie the Elephant and the Spark of Confidence.
Okay.
Ellie, like many of us, struggles with self-doubt and the fear of failure.
Cool, for sure.
But her friend Polly the parrot encourages her to embrace challenges, highlighting that every brave attempt, even if it involves stumbling, helps build confidence.
So it's not about avoiding mistakes altogether.
Yeah.
It's about learning to navigate them and keep moving forward.
Yes.
Teaching them that resilience and perseverance are like key
To
ingredients.
success. And Mitch does a fantastic job of weaving these concepts into these relatable narratives that really capture a child's imagination. For instance, in Sammy the Snail in the Belief Jacket, he introduces this wonderful tool, the Belief Jacket, which allows you to step into someone else's shoes and see the world from their perspective.
I love that. What a creative way to teach kids about empathy and understanding different viewpoints.
Yeah.
It's like giving them a superpower to connect with others on a deeper level.
Exactly. And it made me think about how we as parents can use this concept
Yeah.
in everyday situations. When our kids come to us with a conflict or a misunderstanding, we can encourage them to put on their belief jacket and try to see things from the other person's point of view.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's such a practical application.
Right.
It's not just about reading the story. It's about incorporating these lessons into our daily interactions with our kids.
Or sure.
Now let's talk about a chapter that really resonated with me. The Golden Rule and the Curious Case of Mr. Grump.
Ah, yes, Mr. Grump, the prickly porcupine who everyone avoids.
Until Frankie the Fox comes along.
Uh-huh.
Right. And what I found so heartwarming about this story is that Frankie doesn't shy away from Mr. Grump's prickliness.
Yeah.
He chooses kindness and compassion, even when it seems undeserved.
And it's that act of kindness that ultimately transforms Mr. Grump.
Yeah.
It's a powerful message about the ripple effect of compassion and how it can change hearts, even the grumpiest ones.
It also reminds us that everyone, even Mr. Grump, has a story, a reason behind their behavior.
Yeah.
It encourages kids to look beyond the surface and consider what might be going on beneath someone's prickly exterior.
Which is an incredibly valuable lesson, especially in today's world where it's easy to judge and label people based on first impressions.
Yeah.
This story encourages empathy and understanding, reminding us to approach others with kindness and an open heart.
Now, switching gears a bit, let's talk about Hazel the Humble Horse, a story that focuses on humility and celebrating others. We see Hazel, a talented horse, win every event at the Great Meadow Games, But then her constant bragging about her achievements
Oh, yeah.
pushes her friends away.
It's a classic tale of how too much self-focus can lead to isolation.
Yeah.
And Hazel's journey highlights the importance of shifting the focus from me to we,
Right.
recognizing that true greatness comes not from boasting about our own accomplishments, but from appreciating the strengths and talents of others.
I love how he uses the salt and soup rule to explain this concept to kids.
Oh, yeah?
You know how sharing achievements is like adding salt to soup, good in moderation, but too much can ruin the whole pot.
It's such a clever analogy.
It is, and it makes me think about how we can use this in our own parenting.
Yeah.
Encouraging our kids to celebrate their own wins, but also to acknowledge and appreciate the accomplishments of others.
Absolutely. It's about fostering a spirit of collaboration and recognizing that we all have unique talents and contributions to make.
Now, before we move on to part 2, let's touch on one more chapter that I think a lot of parents will relate to. Bruno the Bull and the Invisible Treasure.
Ah, yes. Bruno the Bull, who is admired for his outward appearance.
Right, his shiny coat.
Yes, his long horns, but feels like something is missing.
And it's Old Owl, the wise voice of the forest, who introduces him to the concept of character, explaining that is who you are when no one is watching.
It's about building that inner strength, that integrity and kindness that truly defines who you are regardless of outward appearances or achievements.
And I love how he uses the metaphor of an invisible treasure to represent this concept. It's something that's intangible, but incredibly valuable, something that you carry with you wherever you go.
It's a powerful reminder that true worth comes from within, from the choices we make and the way we treat others, even when no one is looking.
Yeah, it's about building a foundation of character that will guide us through life's challenges and help us make a positive impact on the world.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's so important to instill those values early on, isn't it? Because character is something that you build over time through those consistent actions and choices.
Absolutely. It's like laying the foundation for a strong and resilient life.
Right.
Now, speaking of resilience, I'm curious about the chapter Buddy's Big Gift, a tale of generosity. It seems like it touches on more than just giving.
You're right, Buddy. The helpful dog really embodies the spirit of community and leadership in this story.
Okay.
When he learns that some families in his town are struggling, he doesn't just offer a quick fix.
Right.
He rallies everyone together to create a lasting impact.
It's inspiring how he empowers others to act, right? It's not about doing everything himself, but about inspiring collective action.
Yeah.
And showing that everyone has something to contribute.
That's a powerful message for kids, especially in a world that often emphasizes individual achievement. This story highlights the beauty of collaboration and how much we can accomplish when we work together toward a common goal.
And it ties in nicely with the tale of Dally, the delegating sheepdog, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Dally, the hardworking sheepdog, learns that asking for help isn't a sign of weakness, but a key to success.
Exactly. Dally initially tries to do everything herself, wanting to prove her worth. But she quickly becomes overwhelmed and realizes that sharing responsibilities not only lightens her load, but also allows others to shine and contribute their unique talents.
It's a valuable lesson for us as parents, too.
Right.
It's okay to ask for help.
Right.
To delegate tasks and to create a more collaborative environment, both at home and in our communities.
Absolutely. And it reminds me of Hazel the hummingbird and the power of clear words.
Okay.
Hazel, with her rapid-fire speech, often leaves her friends confused, highlighting the importance of slowing down and communicating effectively.
I know a few little hummingbirds myself.
Oh, yeah.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement and forget to pause and articulate our thoughts clearly.
Right. And the tools that Oliver the Owl gives Hazel, the compass of clarity and the pen of precision, are such wonderful visual aids.
I love those tools.
For kids to grasp the concept of mindful communication.
Yeah, they make the abstract idea of clear communication tangible and fun. And it's something we can all benefit from, right? Taking that extra moment to think before we speak can make a huge difference in how our message is received.
Absolutely. And speaking of messages, the chapter, Check Your Cluck Handling Emotions and Feelings, offers a fantastic strategy for managing those big emotions that kids and, let's be honest, adults experience.
Oh, yes. Check your cluck before you run amok.
Yeah.
I can't wait to use that phrase with my kids. It's catchy, memorable, and it gets the point across.
It does.
in a way that's both playful and impactful.
Exactly. And it's not just about suppressing emotions. It's about recognizing them, pausing, and choosing a more constructive response.
Right. It's about giving kids the tools to navigate those inevitable emotional ups and downs, which is so important for their overall well-being.
Yes.
Now, switching gears to a lighter topic, I'm curious about Leo the Lion and the Magical Hour. What's the magic all about?
This chapter is all about the magic of movement.
Okay.
Leo the lion, who loves to lounge and snack, learns from his energetic friend Zara the zebra that even just 1 hour of physical activity can do wonders
Oh, wow.
for your mood and energy levels.
That's a great way to frame exercise for
Yep.
kids, right?
Yeah.
Not as a chore or an obligation, but as a magical hour
Exactly.
filled with fun and exploration.
Precisely. And it highlights that exercise isn't just about physical health.
Right.
It's about boosting those feel-good endorphins and creating a more positive and energized outlook on life.
Now let's talk about a chapter that might resonate with kids who are a bit shy or introverted. Making eye contact. The tale of Ella and the magic glance. Eye contact can be tricky even for adults.
Oh, it's a subtle but powerful form of nonverbal communication that often gets overlooked.
Yeah.
But as Ella the bunny learns, it's a key ingredient in building genuine connections.
And I love how he introduces the magic glance as a tool to connect with others,
Yeah.
showing that you're listening and making people feel seen and understood.
Yeah. It's a beautiful reminder that we don't always need words to communicate effectively. Sometimes a genuine look, a warm smile, can convey more than 1,000 words.
Absolutely. And it's something we can practice with our kids, those subtle cues of eye contact and body language that can enhance their social skills and help them navigate social situations with more confidence.
For sure, and speaking of social skills, the chapter Ollie Owl's Helpful Hoots offers a unique perspective on giving advice.
Okay.
Ollie the wise owl learns that sometimes the most helpful thing we can do is simply listen.
It's a delicate balance, isn't it? Knowing when to offer advice and when to simply provide a supportive ear.
Exactly, and it reminds me of the importance of creating a safe space for our kids to express themselves, to process their thoughts and feelings without feeling judged or pressured to take specific actions.
It's about empowering them to find their own solutions and to trust their inner wisdom. Now let's shift our focus to a chapter that really stood out to me, Pippin the Penguin and the Magic Compass of Fun. It seems especially relevant in today's fast-paced, achievement-oriented world.
It's a reminder that we don't have to wait for special occasions or vacations to experience joy. Fun isn't a luxury, it's an essential part of a fulfilling life. And Pippin the Penguin, who's always focused on achieving his goals, learns this lesson the hard way.
He gets so caught up in the work, work, work mentality that he loses sight of the simple pleasures, the moments of playfulness and connection that make life richer.
Exactly, and that's where Tally the Puffin comes in, introducing him to the Magic Compass of Fun, a tool that helps him rediscover the joy in everyday experiences.
I love that concept.
Ta-da.
It's about shifting our perspective and recognizing that fun isn't a distraction from our goals, but can actually enhance our creativity, our productivity, and our overall well-being.
Absolutely, and it's a reminder that we as parents can set an example for our kids by incorporating fun and playfulness into our own lives, showing them that it's okay to let loose, to be silly, and to find joy in the simple things.
Now, before we wrap up part 2, I want to touch on a chapter that I think is incredibly powerful, Maddie and the Mountain of More.
Okay.
It introduces this concept of abundance versus scarcity, which is something that's often ingrained in us from a young age.
It's a fascinating exploration of how our beliefs shape our experiences. Maddie, with her belief in abundance, sets off on a journey to climb the Mountain of More, encountering characters who represent different mindsets along the way.
It's like a symbolic representation of the internal battles we often face, right?
Yeah.
The voices of scarcity telling us there's not enough to go around,
Yeah.
versus the voices of abundance inviting us to believe in limitless possibilities.
Exactly. And Maddie, with her unwavering belief in abundance, challenges those scarcity mindsets, suggesting that there's enough for everyone, that sharing actually leads to more happiness and connection.
And when they reach the top of the mountain, they discover a magical abundance of treasures, proving that our beliefs have the power to create our reality.
It's a powerful message for kids and adults to embrace an abundance mindset, to see the world as a place of limitless potential, and to approach life with generosity and a spirit of collaboration.
Yeah, it really makes you think about how our beliefs shape our experiences.
Yeah.
And, how we can empower our kids to see the world through that lens of abundance.
It does. And speaking of empowering kids, The chapter Bobby and the Magic of Listening really resonated with me. As parents, we're constantly reminding our kids to listen.
Right.
But this story offers a fresh perspective on the importance of truly hearing what others have to say.
Bobby the bunny, right? He loves to talk.
Yes.
But struggles with that listening part.
Exactly. And his grandpa Joe introduces him to the listening ears, these magical ears that help him block out distractions and focus on the speaker.
Oh, I like that. What a clever way to engage kids.
Isn't it?
And make that abstract idea of listening more tangible.
It's brilliant, and it goes beyond just hearing the words.
Yeah.
It's about paying attention to the emotions behind them, showing empathy, and truly connecting with the speaker.
It's a skill that'll serve them well throughout their lives.
Oh, for sure.
Both personally and professionally. Now, I'm curious about the chapter Harvey the Bold Hawk. It sounds like it might encourage kids to step outside their comfort zones.
It absolutely does. Harvey is this young hawk who dreams of exploring beyond the familiar cliffs where his flock has always lived. He believes there's more to discover, more to experience, and he's not afraid to challenge the status quo.
Which can be daunting, especially when you're facing resistance from those around you.
Exactly. His fellow hawks are comfortable with the way things have always been and discourage him from venturing out. But Harvey's determination to follow his dreams is inspiring.
Yeah, it reminds us that growth often lies outside our comfort zones.
Yeah.
And that it's okay to challenge those limiting beliefs, both our own and those of others.
It's about encouraging our kids to be curious, to explore and embrace new experiences, even if it means facing some initial resistance.
Now let's talk about a chapter that might be particularly helpful for kids starting at a new school or navigating those new social situations. Benny Bear's big first impression.
Ah, yes, Benny Bear. He's so nervous about making a good first impression that he almost forgets the simple things that matter most.
Like what?
His wise neighbor, Mr. Owl, reminds him to start with a friendly smile, kind words, and a helpful paw.
It's amazing how those small gestures can make such a big difference.
They really can. And Benny, by following Mr. Owl's advice, quickly wins over his classmates and makes a whole garden of new friends.
Ah, that's sweet.
Yeah.
It highlights the power of kindness, helpfulness, and that genuine interest in others. It's about going beyond our own anxieties and focusing on making others feel welcome and included.
Absolutely. And those are qualities that will benefit them throughout their lives, not just in those initial encounters.
Now, before we wrap up our deep dive into Little Heroes, I want to emphasize that this book is so much more than just a collection of stories. It's a treasure trove of practical wisdom and life lessons that you can share with your kids.
Yeah.
Sparking conversations, inspiring their imaginations, and empowering them to embrace their own unique journeys.
And the best part is he's offering it completely free on his website, mitchjackson.xyz.
Easy to download.
You can get it in both text and audio format.
So there you have it, folks. Head over to the website, grab a copy of Little Heroes, and embark on this adventure with your kids.
And remember, these stories aren't just for them.
Yeah,
They might just spark a little something in you as well.
it's true.
After all, we can all learn a thing or two from the wisdom of Little Heroes.
Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep diving deep.